I wrote this book as a tribute to the American dream, and the best way I knew how to pay tribute to the American dream was through the story of my grandfather and my parents, who came to this country and realized at some point that their own dreams would not come true. And so it became the purpose of their life to make things possible for us that was impossible for them. And I know that I had the chance to do things my parents didn't have a chance to do because I was an American son. So this book's not a political book, and I've had a lot of people throughout our signings come through and say they may not agree with me on some issues, but that they felt the story spoke to their story. And it's a reminder to all Americans that what we're fighting for is to preserve the American dream, to preserve a country where anyone from anywhere can accomplish anything, where the son of a bartender and a maid can be a U.S. senator.
One of the big things about our economy locally is we were hit incredibly hard by the recession and have a high unemployment rate. Do you think that was one reason why you really wanted to make a stop here, is the fact that a lot of the people here have the same type of story as you do? They didn't have that chance. They didn't come from privilege or anything like that.
Well, you know, that's really the story of America. I'm glad it's very typical of the area that I'm in this morning, but I think it's very typical of our country. Our country literally is a place where where the owner, where the worker can become the owner, where the employee can become the employer, where people start businesses out of the spare bedroom of their home, and it works. And while sometimes those of us like myself that are born in this country and have lived here our whole life, we take that for granted. But all over the world, that's just not the way it is. All over the world, whatever your parents did is what you're going to be when you grow up. And I think that that's what sets us apart from the rest of the world, and we have to fight to preserve that. So I think it's important for us to do for our children what my parents did for me, and that is encourage me to dream. And all I can tell you is that growing up, my parents never led me to believe that because of what they did for a living, that somehow I was limited. And I hope that we will continue to encourage our children to reach higher, but we also need to provide them a country where that's possible. And that's due to our liberties that our Constitution provides us, and it's due to our free enterprise economy, which has set us apart from the world. So I know a lot of Americans are hurting. A lot of people that came through the line today expressed to me that they're hurting because of the economy, and I just pray we can get that turned around soon.
So what was your thought of the crowd today?
Oh, I'm just amazed. I still just get blown away by the fact that people wake up early in the morning and stand in line to get my book, and just honored by it, really am. I mean, this is humbling experience, and at the same time an extraordinary reminder that my service is to give voice and hopefully policy behind the worries, the hopes, the fears, and the aspirations of people all over this country that look to our candidacy in 2010 of one of many candidacies out there that were speaking to them.
Okay.
What's next for you?
Norfolk, Virginia. You mean next stop or next?
Just next, coming up in the next couple months.
Well, you know, we're going to get back to work on Monday in the Senate, and my hope is that we'll get some things done before this election. I keep hearing that we can't do anything in an election year in Washington, but I think the people of the United States pay their U.S. senators to work for 6 straight years, not to take 6 months off because an election's around the corner. We have a tax code that's broken. A bunch of taxes are about to go up in December. Everyone knows that's a bad idea. We should deal with it. Medicare needs to be saved or it's going to go away. My mom's on Medicare. I desperately want to save Medicare, but we know that it's going bankrupt if we leave it the way it is. We do my generation, not to mention folks that are on it now, and hopefully we'll deal with that. We still know the world's a very dangerous place, and it's safer when America's the strongest country in the world. We need to preserve that. We need to stop these regulations that are destroying small businesses and the people who are trying to make it. And we're the most energy-rich country in the world now because of technological advances. We are crazy if we don't have an concise energy policy that takes advantage of that in a responsible way. So these are things I hope we'll work on. I don't think that's asking too much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and covering the show.